I'm pulling up. Heard you were looking for me. I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up.
I love Chris
I'm
Rich.
pulling up. I'm pulling up. Slide through, Benz truck, big Thule. What the fuck? Hold on me, I keep it tough. I'm pulling up.
Good evening. Welcome to the Down in the Valley podcast, brought to you by Truth Entertainment Films and AAA Productions. I am the co-host Black V. Got my other co-host down there eating on them good old turkey wings. Rico,
right.
aka I call him Georgie. I'ma still always call him Georgie because that's ever since I've known him since high school. He was always little Georgie and whatnot. For George Revere, and then we got a special guest, an activist in the community, as well as a mother, a poet. Oh wow,
A rapper.
A rap. She does it all, man. She's just
Yeah.
a full entrepreneur who is always about giving back within anything that she does. So I like to welcome Doreen Block, aka D Block.
Yep. D Block.
Well, thank you for that intro. That was pretty dope.
Hey man, well welcome. We blessed to have you. Welcome to the Down in the Valley podcast. For those of you who are still new, because this is our third episode, this is a podcast where we, and I don't want to say this is our podcast, this is us giving back to our community, a podcast where we go and we take individuals, not only just individuals, but peers as well as leaders, community leaders that we grew up with that helped us. And a lot of it centered around the Vonley Rogers Football League and even other football leagues around the community. And we want to give them their flowers, and not only just coaches, but other people in the community who were part of making it happen. Everything from cheer coaches to sponsors to people who just help, the parents that help, the other players and other people in the community, the fathers that came and did so much, the mothers that came and did so much. And it's our way of recognizing and those who contributed to us, because a lot of us, like Rico would say, a lot of them times, some of them coaches were fathers to a lot of kids. And some of those cheerleading coaches were like mothers or aunts to some of these young ladies. So it's our way of recognizing, giving back, having fun, talking about good old times, but also just acknowledging fellow players we played with, fellow coaches, and honor those that are still active and doing work, or who used to play and now are out there coaching and have a word to get out to share with the community still. So welcome, D Block. I'm gonna call you D Block like she part of the Locks.
She is. She is.
She that missing member from the Locks. So welcome. Rico, brother, how you been since last episode? We about took a week break, and back before we go into Christmas break, because we'll be back after the new year, primed and ready with a few changes and more good episodes and more people to honor and respect and cherish. But how you been, brother?
I've been all right, bro. Everything is going well. Been paying attention to the Facebook, which is my news for Youngstown, because everybody got something to say that's going on in there. But other than that, chatting it up with D Block, myself, prior to this, just our normal check-ins on each other. So that's about it, brother. Other than that, I ain't been doing too much. Like you said, been up there cooking up some more guests, coaches that we can get on here, and also other activists in the community that's actually trying to do some things. I want to get their opinions on some stuff. So like I said, some people just run into that time constraint with, the time frame and everything else, but they said they're willing to do it. So,
right. Yeah. If you don't mind, whether he's a guest or not, he has to be recognized for his work in the community. If you don't mind, shout your brother out, man. Shout your brother out in the work he's doing, because he is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, my brother Randy Triplett, and his coaching staff, Little Bears coaching staff that they had, man. Most of them was like brothers, grew up together. Some of us as family on there. But like I told them before, what I admire about them and their bond is sort of like the same bond our coaches that we watch coach bond together. So it's like it's like the blueprint was laid out and he's just like basically bringing it back with it. So I like to see that. And also Shout out to the pastor, or should I say Reverend Donaldson, for actually supporting and helping navigate everything through there, whatever hurdles that they may have encountered throughout the season. He's been right there to speak up and make sure he clears a lot of stuff up if there's any misunderstandings. So like I said, I'm a huge fan of that. Just seeing the community come together. It's a start. And hopefully we could get people to come together outside of just sports. But it's a beautiful thing to come home and see everybody kind of like piling in to watch a football game. You know what I'm saying? Especially Little League. I mean, that's big. You know what I mean?
Kids, it takes a village. So you're right. It's definitely bigger than just your brother. So it takes a community, and so that's why I'm so happy. That's why Doreen is here. Like, wow, like you talk about somebody who was active. I think there's other people, and I don't want to miss out, but her and Two Fly, from people I know or her personal relationships, are some of the most active people in the Yo community. So I definitely, anytime I can get a chance to shout them out, or anytime you got something you need us to support, to bring on, or you want to share, or something you're working on, please come back, talk about it. We'll help push it, promote it, share it. To those that went and donated, because Marcus Calwise was on last week, and he had initiative going on for his football team, and we try to make sure we share that, and we want to continue to try. If anybody else who's watching or gets to watch this, we want to share and network and hope we grow this and use it as a networking tool, and use it as not only where we honor, but we help and we build, because that's what it's about. But D Block,
what's up?
I know you got a lot of things going on, and I want to get to that, but I've heard through the grapevine that you got a history as a cheerleader, not only for the Elks, the Buckeye Elks, but also the Young Disciples. Is this true?
The Raiders was the start, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Young Disciples, yes, we were the best in the city. Just want to put that out. Who? The Young Disciple cheerleaders, we were the best. Nobody was
see how we had to ask her to say it again, because we're trying to figure out who.
The football team wise, no. That football team didn't never stand a chance.
No, we won championship. We won a championship the year I was cheering. Y'all not gonna do my fellas like that. We not about to do that. We not about to do that.
I don't recall in the history of me playing football in Vonnie Rogers that you only about.
It was probably, bro, while you was like, before you was old enough for Pee-wees. It was probably a long time ago.
No. I was 13. I was part of the 150s, 140s or whatever. We won.
No.
Oh, we're gonna have to get Theodore Block on this mug, because
you call Theodore Block because we want to know. we need to know.
We had everybody. We had Albert Holland. We had Alex A. Train, Ruda. We had everybody that year. We was dope.
Wait. Go back. And on a serious note, say those names again, because I want to make sure we get them brothers they flowers. So you repeat their name again on a serious note. No joking, but because I definitely want to make sure that people hear these names of these guys who are legendary and played a part in that league. So say them names again if you don't mind.
I'm gonna say my brother first. We had Theodore Rodney Block. We had Albert Holland. We had Chris Holland. We had Alex A. Trey Allen. We had Calvin Ruda Allen. Coach Dindy was the coach. Coach Schindel was the coach. Those are the coaches I remember. It was some other coaches, but them the only ones that I really rocked with for real. I can't remember the rest of the people who was on the squad, on the guys team.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
But we had them and we was winning. Y'all not gonna try to act like the Young Disciples wasn't winning.
The Young Disciples ain't really won nothing, but we gonna let that go.
Man, I need them on this podcast. Where is the line?
You know what? January,
I'm gonna keep it real.
Disciples on here.
I'm gonna keep it real. Albert Holland. Albert was another one. We wore the same jersey number, and I would look. I'm like, I got you this game. I would score about 2-3 touchdowns on them, and break somebody's head, bust somebody's head open on that field. But excuse me,
who did you play for?
First the Elks, and then I played for the Panthers /Titans. when we converted it over. But what you do need to know,
You
we
know
bust
what?
our
The
heads.
Titans was non-existent. They wasn't there yet when the disciples, when we was winning. The Titans wasn't
Well,
even
then I was playing for the
ten.
Elks. I was playing for the Elks then. But
But
the
see, I
bottom
think
line
we was
is,
on the same, because I was an Elks too. So
yeah,
we was
but
on the same team for a while, but then
I don't know. I can't tell y'all over here beefing. I mean, I'm just
nah,
saying.
because she's sitting there talking about their squad was like this and
we
that at 12 and
won
13.
too.
You
Bro,
only a year,
they might have had 1 year. They was on point.
bro. I don't think the Titans really been good. I mean, not the Titans. I don't think the Disciples
Disciples.
was good. Probably, but yeah, maybe 1 year. I mean,
And that
nobody
was the
wasn't.
year I played there. I mean, that I was a cheerleader there because we were
I
sweet
mean,
that
and
year.
at the end of the day, I don't even think that. I mean, did y'all have Michael? Oh man, what was his name? Michael Harton or something like that. Big
Michael
tall
Hall,
dude.
Daryl Hall, that's who you talk
No,
about?
no, Harding.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who
Well,
that is. Sorry, Michael Harton. If you was dope, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
well,
Shouts out to Michael Harden. Shouts
I'm
out to him.
sorry.
I
But
think that
Shout
was
out
his
to
name.
Daryl
we had
Hall,
the
Michael Hall
Hall.
too. If there's a Daryl Michael Hall, yo, shout out
But
to him.
hey, look,
Mhm.
man. We gonna keep it real. Y'all was cool, but everybody don't even remember that you said the Disciples. They'd be looking like that's just one of the teams that existed on that side of town or whatever else. Like they're not, like we said, we got some people that played for the Knights, the Broncos. When the Panthers came out, we was that squad.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, see the Panthers was non-existent too. The Broncos was there.
Hmm.
yeah,
I
look
remember the
at she going down
Broncos.
memory lane. You going down memory lane? That's right. So it's
But
good.
you
It's
talk
good to
about
hear
the
that.
Panthers and the Titans. That was after us. You should have been, because we
No,
the same age. You should have been in high school by the time they got.
nuh-uh. I played our junior high year. Instead of me playing junior high ball, when the Panthers came out with their squad, I played for them, and
You
then
know,
they
that
turned
used to
into
be
the
a big
Titans.
problem too. They was upset because I was supposed to cheer for junior high too.
Hmm.
The junior high people used to be mad because we would stay on the Vonnie Rogers
Yeah.
league
Where'd you go
Yep.
to Adams?
forever. We would
Nuh-uh.
not go
No, I
and
was asking
cheer.
Joey.
Jordan. Where'd you go to junior high at?
North
Yep.
North.
Bulldogs.
All of us went to North. Yep. We ran stuff.
Well, we
We
was
used to
not, but
we,
I was not a
look,
cheerleader for the North
but
Bulldogs.
we
I
Hey,
was
hey,
but
just
bro.
over there.
Hey,
but
hey,
but
Jordy, Georgie,
we used to
Georgie.
kill Hayes. We used to
Whatever.
we used to take it to Hayes. It didn't matter if we was at Cheney. It didn't matter what junior high. North was up there killing y'all in track. We was that squad.
Thought you was talking
We
about
were.
football. All North best football players was on the Young Disciples.
That's what we doing. Is that what we doing? I did not come on this podcast to be attacked. That's what we doing.
Hey, hey, if you ain't lying though, dude. Hey,
Look. I respected the little league, but on here, I might throw a shot at a junior high or something like that, or a
Mhm,
high school.
you know, we
You
we
know.
gonna
mhm.
talk a little bit of stuff, but
That's cool. I'm gonna have to have everybody check in. Is this
Check in.
airing
Brett, tell
now?
them check in. Yep.
it don't
Tell them
matter
check
when.
in.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Wednesdays. We here on the block
Mm, mm,
on the
mm.
podcast chopping.
Chop.
Well, I'm gonna
Uh,
talk to you, Mr. Jamar, even though you just threw that shot. So, what was the question? What was you asking before Georgie
yeah.
decided to
Some
talk
of the
about my
most. I would
disciple?
sit there say for you, like some of your most memorable moments. I'm gonna go start off there. What are some of your most memorable moments from that time? Like things that you can't forget, and then come back around to like maybe some people that just really stood out to you that impacted your life, if you can. But we can start off with uh things, maybe some things that just really just stood out to you, or you remember, or experienced, whatever.
Okay, so I never wanted to be a cheerleader. I wanted to play football. But
Mhm.
I was a big tomboy, and my mama told me I could not play football because I would never be able to have kids. And that's what she told me. And so she made me be a cheerleader. And because I was a big tomboy, I used to always play rough and tumble, three flags, all that, or six flags, whatever you call it. And so my mom scared me half to death, told me I wouldn't have kids. And so I can't even remember when I was playing for the Elks or when I was cheering for the Elks. I can't remember having that creativity or that leadership. That happened later with the young disciples. But I felt like I was a great cheerleader, but I was also a bad cheerleader because when they would be like scoring a touchdown, you know, you're supposed to stand there and do your little TD touchdown. I would be running down the field. I would be getting in trouble because it was just that great. Like you had front row seats to athletes and you had a platform because when you're from the hood, you can't really, a lot of people didn't have that. We gonna go to the dance studio or we gonna have this type of.
We didn't have many outlets.
Right. So like when you guys were talking about the Golden Bears now, the little Bears, if we had that field, man, it would have been crazy. We didn't have that. We just kind of had to make our own
makeshift fields and
yes, we out there with the lines with the chalk and stuff like that. Like you had to be a part of not only the performance or the entertainment, but you had to build something. So it made it to where the community really came together because nobody had that field. That field is so nice. I really am glad that we have that now, because when you would go out of the inner city and you would go to like, what was the Warren people, the Browns or something?
The Browns and the Eagles. Yeah, the Warren Brown and the
we
Warren Eagles.
would go to their little stuff and their stuff. You'd be like, oh, well, this is kind of big. Now, they were sorry. We used to beat them all the time, but their platform was good. And it was crazy because it was more family oriented. Like Georgie was saying with the little Bears, how they were. I remember Coach Shindo because he looked like my dad. Even though my dad wasn't a part, he actually looked like he could have been my dad. Like if you put their pictures side by side, and he would keep up with you. He would know stuff. And I would be like, how do you know? Like you was for the boys. But he paid attention because he saw some potential in me. So those moments where you feel like nobody's watching, and you grow up a little bit and they remember you, those were the things that stuck with me. I learned how to be a leader when I was for the young disciples. I did not want to cheer for the young disciples, like I said. And the girls who were on the squad were already clicked up. And I was just there to watch my brother play ball. Me and my sister just chilling. And they was kind of like, they weren't good. I'm sorry. I got to say it. They weren't good at first. And me and my sister like, we're not about to be on y'all squad. Like, well, y'all show us what y'all got. And they didn't know we was living for this moment our whole lives because we used to always make up cheers and do stuff. So we had like a little battle.
What was that movie where the cheerleaders
Bring it on.
So don't tell me you had a bring it on moment.
We had a bring it on moment. And instead of them hating, they was like, oh, could you teach us that? And that's how I became a cheerleader on the Young Disciples. I wasn't really checking to be, I'm telling y'all, I wanted to be a football. I wanted to be, what's the girl, Akilah in the B, when she was with Ice Cube and she was the quarterback? That's who I wanted to be. We used to run routes and stuff. That's who I wanted to be, but I was not allowed.
Because your mama wanted you to have babies.
It's her fault Camille is here. Don't tell me that. Feed.
So with that being said, on a serious note, that's funny. What did you get excited about, or what did you look forward to on Saturday mornings when we used to play our games? What did you look forward to? What was something that you'd be like, man, I can't wait because this weekend, whatever, blah, 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 we're going to be at the field. What was your excitement?
Halftime. We was going to go across the field. We was going to do our hello cheer. We was going to be better than everybody else. That's what I used to look forward to. Nobody was checking for us. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know why you acting like you don't remember, but nobody was checking for us. And I liked it because we were creative. We didn't steal other people's cheers. We made up all our cheers. And I felt like,
shots fired.
oh
Damn.
yeah, oh
I gotta
yeah,
get some sound effects. I'm gonna
oh
get some
yeah, we
sound
made up
effects for
our
that.
cheers. We used to be, and we used to actually start from the sideline and go to midfield. We would start cheering from there, go to midfield, stop there, kill you real quick, and then go off. That's how we used
Damn,
to.
wait. It was that vicious
Oh yeah,
at halftime between cheering squads?
oh yeah. It was.
Oh my God.
It went down. It used to go down. It was the
Hey,
same thing.
the hardest
Y'all
thing
would know
about the
because y'all was in the
Disciples,
huddle
Georgie, was the
somewhere.
cheering squad right there. I'm telling you right now, they trying to kill the other squads.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, y'all was worse than us because I mean, like, I ain't never heard this terminology when you talk about cheering. Like, y'all might have started stump the yard before stump the yard started. Y'all was really stumping
And
the
we
yard.
did. And
Hey, they
we did.
walking. Hey, you know how
So
you
you
used to
was
go to
trump
Gully
dancing.
Rogers and you walk around like scoping up, walk around the field,
Yeah.
scoping everybody out, seeing who all there. Hey, Doreen will be walking by, seeing the other cheerleader just sitting there looking at her like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want it. They don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
D
They used to
Block.
hate. Yes.
First of all, man, I might have believed you, but right now, according to my sources, the lie detector says
Who
you're
is your
telling a
sources? Who
you
is
gotta
your sources?
you know who is that Dallas Cowboy jacket you got going on says that you couldn't have knew anything what you was doing because it's all about
First of all,
real teams. I
first of
mean,
all, it's a hoodie. Get it right. It's not a
I'm
jacket. It's a
sorry,
hoodie.
the
Second of
Cowboys,
all, why are you bringing the nine? You're a Niners fan, correct?
of
Okay.
course,
Well,
a
me,
dynasty.
me and Jamar already had our talk. You was missing in action with your turkey leg, so we not gonna go back to the NFL. We're not gonna go back to the NFL. We talk about Little League. Stay
We're
on
gonna
task.
we're gonna stay on task, but I mean, I was believing everything you said until I seen that little star. But besides that, man, so dang, you said you used to walk across, do your little kill move, and then walk back like it wasn't nothing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now I had a
Mean
girlfriend on
mugging,
my
going
little
across the.
cheerleading squad, and she ain't never described it as being as fierce. You know, I don't understand how y'all is trying to go to this point where you sit there saying you like
I'm
you was
telling
really
you.
stumping the yard. You was stumping the yard in elementary.
I'm telling you, we
Serving
were.
folks.
We
You
was
got
out there
served.
like little sororities. We used to get in trouble because we were doing more stepping than cheerleading. We
Right.
actually went to a cheer competition, and that's what they told us. Like, you guys were very, very good, but because y'all stepped more than y'all cheered, we had to disqualify y'all. It was at B
Oh,
Rand School. They had a cheer competition. We was there in our purple and gold, and that's just I don't know. I don't know why we chose to
So
cheer
y'all
in that
so
manner.
y'all actually had a cheer competition.
Yeah.
During see, you know what's so crazy though? Seriously, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jamar and Doe. That's how self-centered we was as athletes because
we didn't realize
nobody did not
everything
know
else going
about these.
around.
Nobody knew about the cheerleader competitions, man. Like
Hmm.
at our age back in the day, I just thought y'all cheered on the
We're home.
sideline and that was it. At the games, it was no cheer competitions. So for y'all to have a cheer competition, that's the first time I done heard that. I know they doing it now. Cause my
Hmm.
niece was just in one, and I thought that was pretty dope. My brother got they squad in there, and that was pretty dope. I didn't
Hmm.
know that our era did cheerleading competitions. Real talk, and
We
it's
did.
so funny because I had a girlfriend. That shows you how much I paid attention to her because I didn't know nothing about this cheerleading competition.
Now, trust and believe, everybody wasn't invited to the cheerleading competition. So, depending on what squad she was on, she might have not been there. But,
Damn.
Oh, oh, shots fired,
Yo, we need
shots
that. We need
fired.
that. read that for me real quick, brother, from Coach
Oh,
Newbie.
when coaching being competitive was mandatory on all levels, including cheerleaders, that was my mindset. The girls were very, very valuable. No
Yes, we
doubt.
were. Let
Facts,
them
No doubt.
know. Let
facts,
them
facts,
know.
facts, Coach Newbie.
No
Shouts
doubt.
out to Coach Newbie.
Yeah,
One of the
Coach New,
legends.
shots
Yeah,
out,
Coach
man.
Noob,
Shots
shouts out.
out.
One of the legends. Yo, we honored that man a couple weeks ago, and I can't wait to get him back on here on the podcast because his insight is just invaluable, just his knowledge and just what he brought and he still brings to the table.
That's right. That's
But
right.
yo, I had a Brittany cheer. My sister Brittany cheered, and I remember maybe one competition or something like that before, but I mean, it makes sense, and I'm sure if I was the
I mean,
brain
it
over there, she
makes
probably would say
sense,
too.
but what we saying is though, like
We
honestly
were
speaking,
we didn't know, bro. It was like we were so wrapped up in our world,
and our
and
own selves, like the
yeah,
next opponent, and it's so
yeah.
funny though to have it like that.
I didn't know y'all was
Doreen,
that fierce. Like
yeah, I
who?
didn't know that either.
Wait. We
So
gotta ask her. So who did you wait? Let me ask you this real quick. Sorry to cut you off, brother.
you already
Who
thinking what I'm
couldn't?
thinking.
Who you could not wait to see out there to cheer against?
Mm.
It was the Broncos. The
Mm.
Broncos and the Braves, because the Broncos and the Braves thought that they was like it. They thought they was the stuff. And we would show up and we would leave no crumbs. Nobody was better than us when I was a young disciple. Nobody. Nobody was
Nobody.
better. No, not one. And
Man,
it's
you know
crazy
what's gonna be
because
so
at that
funny? I
cheerleading
can't wait to get
competition,
a. We're gonna get another cheerleader on here
oh,
and hear
please
their
do.
mindset. And
Please do.
I'm gonna make sure we buzz you in so y'all can
Please
have
do.
this. So they got to be around our age, because man, I mean, you blowing the disciples cheerleading squad up like you
Hey,
Listen.
know.
that might have been the dopest thing about that might have been they niche right there, man. Let's give,
Listen, where is my young disciple cheerleaders? We had Lauren Hunt, we had
I remember Lauren.
Kashina. She was we called her Dina. We had
Okay,
Casey Celeste. We had
damn, she going down the roster on you too. She
now
pulling
that's
out
oh,
good.
names.
Let her
no,
go. Let
we
keep
was
going.
close. Sarah Block, we had the Deans. What was her name? The coach, her name was Judy Dean, I think. And my mom was a coach. She had to be a coach because by default, a lot of mothers had to be the coaches because we didn't have cheerleading coaches. Like
Right.
it was just we did all the work, but we had to have a supervision. We had to have somebody who was gonna help us with the fundraisers and things like that. Because my mom was an athlete. She didn't cheer. Sorry, cheerleaders, not saying y'all not athletes, but I only cheered in junior high. I mean, in little league.
Lily.
I didn't want to cheer in junior high. And I did not want to cheer in high school. Even though at that competition they wanted me to cheer for Ram, but I was like, no. So I was glad that I joined the dance line. But that's a whole nother conversation. But Amanda Dean, that was her name. Amanda Dean. We had what is her name? She got married. I can't remember what. J. Kim, I think was her name. J. Kim. That's all I can remember right now. I can't remember who
Okay.
was on my sister's squad, but
So you used to look for the Broncos and the Braves to cheer against. You couldn't stand them because they thought they was top dogs.
yes, they did.
Okay.
Mhm.
Who would you say you had the most influence on you while you were cheering? As far as like what can you sit back and say the first thing that came to your mind when it comes down to somebody that you just can't forget in cheering that like either influenced you or made you want to become a leader, made you love cheerleading, made you want to do dance, whatever it may be. Who's the first name that come to your mind?
You said cheering or dancing?
Well, cheering. I mean, like, okay, put it like this. I'll keep it better. Who was the first person? I mean, who's the person that you think of that had a impactful, you know what I'm saying, impact on your life as far as when you were cheering? Who was that person besides your mom? Because I didn't know your mom cheered
She
or was
didn't
your coach.
cheer.
I mean,
She was
was
just
your
chill.
coach?
Mm-hmm. Um, I do not know. I really
Hmm.
cannot say that somebody impacted me in the cheer world that was like a coach, like a cheerleading coach. Like I said, they were all just parents and they stepped in because they had to step in.
So what about discipline? Like what about discipline?
Nope, they didn't discipline us. I think that's why I'm so hardcore. I was a disciplinarian. When I came in, I
Wow.
was like the coach. Like they just let me run it. They would be like, okay, during or whatever. I can't remember if I was the captain. I feel like I was not the captain because it was a lot of girls who were already on the
On the
squad.
squad. Yeah.
I just came in.
At the right time.
And brought
Right.
brought ideas at the right time and everything.
And we revamped their cheers because they did have some good material. They just wasn't rocking them the correct way. And we like, okay, we're gonna change this. It was like,
Big East side.
yeah, we had to put our swag on there. We had to do something. Except for ABCD. ABCD, that cheer that they had, I think we kept that the same. I think we
Okay.
kept that the same.
That's dope.
But
That's what's
the
up.
coaches, if you're talking about the females and cheering and stuff, I don't feel like they had an impact, but the male coaches did have an impact.
Okay. I mean,
That's
that's
what
still
I'm
the
talking
same
about.
thing. So
Coach
like you said,
Okay.
Coach Shindo and Coach Dindy had an impact on me, and I feel like because the year that I cheered was the year that Ruta got shot. One of our football players got shot.
Wow.
And so it was like the first time, because I used to live on the north side by Elm Street. So it wasn't like I didn't know of people getting shot because it happened all the time. But it was the first time somebody our age that I was kind of like you know him, like that's Ruta, got shot. So Coach Dindy and Coach Shindo kind of rally us together for prayer for this is gonna be okay. I just remember that moment, and it's always because it's like a traumatic thing that you remember, but I just remember how they took charge and how we still was able to function and we still were able to play and cheer even though that had happened. It was kind of
that's tough. That's
yeah, it was kind of
shout out
crazy.
to Coach Dindy and the other one's name was
Coach Shindo.
Shindo and Coach. Yeah, shout out to them
Mhm.
leaders, community. Definitely have to get them if they're still. Hopefully, God willing, the Lord, Lord be blessed that they're still around, so we can make sure
Mhm.
we give them their flowers. Because that's what it's about, really, is giving flowers to those who
Mhm.
made an impact on all of us. You know what I'm saying? And those
mhm.
who were there. And those are some pivotal times in our lives. Like some of our most, or where our minds are really really sponges is during those years, and you don't forget those people. It's kind of like
Mhm.
you're never going to forget who your favorite teacher was in elementary. Like you're never
Mhm.
going to forget who was some coaches. And some of us played all our years from the Pee Wees to the 115s to the
Yeah.
130s or whatever. And you had other coaches, but there are certain moments and certain times that certain coaches just really impact. I don't want to use the word, but it's probably about the best word, almost like imprint on you.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
just leave
Made
such their
influence.
impact to influence on you. Their impact on you is just so
Mhm.
tremendous and so impactful to your life. So that's what it's about. So shout out to both of them. And I don't know, I have to try to find somebody, maybe somebody watching, or we'll do some research or something to find them coaches to bring them on. We want to definitely make sure we give them their
Yeah, if
props.
those coaches are still around, that's definitely a must. And then
Mhm.
maybe we could get some of the players like Albert, a couple of guys that was playing with y'all, even your brother D Block, which y'all are in the family now, so that's kind of funny. But honestly speaking, that'd be kind of cool to get, you know what I'm saying, a couple of people from the disciples on there that can speak on that as well. Cause y'all did have a good squad, all jokes aside. Uh like we always said, if you played in that league and you from the inner city, man, you had to have heart. If anything, that's what I can say. And just listening to you with the cheering, it's good to see you still got that fire in you. Like, hey, nah, we was top dog.
We top
This is what
dog.
this is. Yeah, we was up there. We was coming to take names. So to hear that, that's
Oh, I
like,
remember some other dudes. Derek Stewart, Elliot Stewart, the Crosbys was on the squad. Kiana was one of the girls on the squad. Now that we're talking about it, and I do know how y'all can reach Coach Dindy. I'm not for sure about Coach Shindle though, because
Well, I
I still
mean, I'm quite sure
keep in
if you could reach
contact
one
with Coach
coach, the other
Dindy.
one could probably reach that other one. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They usually
Yeah,
when
I
they go
still
on a
keep in
coaching like
contact
that,
with Coach Dindy.
yeah. Okay. I mean, and that's good. We wouldn't mind having them as a guest on the show. Of course, we're going to be looking forward to you to be back on the show a couple times again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why we say that, though, honestly speaking, not to take away from Vonnie Rogers itself, but the other things that you are doing, like Jamar said, in the community, that's pretty great. Um, like I said, man, I'm gonna let you tell your story, but man, I admire you as a classmate or friend. Like I said, man, you be hustling, and then to see you coming back to the city for whatever reason and working. As you, I would love to have Misha Stredrick on here as well. Misha has been another person, man, that I looked up to while we were in school because y'all goal oriented, y'all stuck with the plan, y'all had a blueprint, y'all dibbled and dabbled with coming into the city, out of the city for different reasons. But when y'all in the city, y'all make noise. And either Samantha that went to school with us, that's a council. I think she's on the
Tucker.
council, right?
Hmm.
That's another one, man. Because everybody know the odds is always stacked against us if you're in the inner city. Young
Hmm.
Sound, the odds are stacked against you. It's very few of us that make it out and do something on a platform where we could change lives, or when we come back home, people could be like, "Hey, man, they did it. They came from here." And I think what I will say, um, it's good to see you graduated from Ohio State.
The
And
Ohio State University, yes.
say it again. Say it again. The Ohio State University.
The
Um,
Ohio State University, yes. Hmm.
because we need to get this win this year against these Bulldogs. But honestly, man, like I said, that's like a dream, man. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I remember that, and when we was in elementary in sixth grade, they had us do that writing contest in Lincoln. It was two of us that got nominated in sixth grade. I was hurt, but it was like the Young Scholars thing. But it was more so of the fact that they wanted you to write an essay so you can get accepted as pre-early accepted to like Ohio State if you
Hmm.
kept your grades up throughout the whole thing. And
Hmm.
I remember being one of those candidates and wanting to go to Ohio State when it came down to it. And of course, you know, you looking at like you ain't getting a football offer, so you ain't really trying to go there if you ain't able to play football. But
Hmm.
it was still one of those things, man, to sit there and say, man, you graduated from the Ohio State. Man, I'm going to O State. Man, here it is. You graduated from O State. And
Hmm.
besides that, I'll let you tell your background and your education that you got from there and what you're doing in the community now, because you are back at home, like Jamar said, and people need to know what you're doing and what you got going on your platform. Because I stay following you. So go ahead, let you do your thing, D Block.
Well, thank you for that shout out for the Young Scholars. Shout out Young Scholars Program. That is how I got my scholarship. In the
Woo!
fifth grade. Yes, had to write that essay. You had to do an interview. You had to get nominated by
Mm-hmm.
one of your teachers. So yeah, shout out to Young Scholars. Currently I teach chair aerobics and Zumba for Mercy Health. I have like 3 jobs and 2 side hustles, but that's one of my jobs. Um, I have a nonprofit. I do a nonprofit with my partner. Her name is Tajon Robinson. It is called the Pop-Up Series. We believe in a healthy lifestyle through dance. So we do hip hop and heels, hip hop, Zumba, Zumba step, all variations of Zumba. You can find us on the Pop-Up Series on the website. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We usually pop up in the summertime, but we have done other pop-ups, and we have collaborated with Book Buddy, Big Brothers Big Sisters, things like that. I don't know where the 123 program is in Detroit right now. Shout out to Rain Cotton, but she does a nonprofit as well where she helps with literacy and preventing obesity. I help with that as well. And because I might be coming out of retirement because my daughter is in Harambe. I saw a shout out earlier from somebody talking about Harambe. That's African dance. Shout out Miss Miller. She's doing that. It's been in 40 years, over 40 years in Youngstown. So that's saying a lot. So my daughter's doing that. And so I think I'm going to come out of retirement to do hip hop for the kiddos. Don't quote me on that, but I want to start it when the new year comes. But you can just find me on Facebook. My email is doriandivine@gmail.com. I do a lot of work. We just did Juneteenth in June. If you hit me up, I will come to where you need me to be because I believe in the programs here in Youngstown. So hopefully that's all you wanted to know, Georgie. I like to talk a lot.
Nah, I mean, it's cool. Nah, like you throwing it out there, man. We listening, man, because like you said, I know you also did some intervention with helping, like as a counselor with the kids and stuff. You know, and I appreciate that too because like I said, you done had some of my family members, and like you say, it's always good because you're more personal with being in home, but then again, knowing who they are. And it's like I say in a different state. So if you can reach out and mentor and teach this person this and this and that from my family and treat them as if it's your family because you're like, hey, I'm cool with your brother. You know what I mean? We went to school together. You my people. That makes a big difference, man. A lot of times, like we sitting there saying mentorship, man, like you said, Jamar, he's not in state, in city as well, but it's the fact that we look at it like, what ways can you really get to the community even by far? And then you got people like you in the community that like, hey, anytime I need any support, you got myself, you got Jamar, we got this platform here. Let's network and get this support that you guys need so you don't be scrambling around because really it's all about helping these kids out to be better than what we had and be better than who we are today,
Right. Yeah, I I second that. What I've learned is everybody can give back, and it doesn't have. If you can't give back with money, you can give back with your time. If you can't give back with your time, you can give back in some shape, form, or fashion, and find a way, your own way, to give back. And for me, I love creating opportunities and helping other people get a chance to get their voice out. I love conversations that are not about an argument, but coming away with some type of better understanding or some type of growth. And I'm a big person who is against ignorance. And a lot of people don't understand the actual true definition of ignorance. So they hear the word and they immediately just get like offended because it's one of those trigger words. And it's mainly like lack of knowledge. That's what the main thing about ignorance is about is lack of knowledge. And I'd rather our people have access to the knowledge or the conversation, have access to people to have conversations with people who do have the knowledge and who can give it to them, and not just giving you a biased opinion, having other people who are either experts or who are just schooled in some of these conversations and some of these things. So I try to create different podcasts. I have podcasts that people watch that I produce that are funny, and some of them are ratchet and funny and crazy conversations. Some of them are very hip hop oriented in some conversations. Then we have product of the '80s that is very informative thing. Now we're trying to come up with something where Georgie was talking, and hopefully it works out, where we're trying to speak separate from this, but something else where we're trying to go ahead and network and get people who have things going on in the city business wise to be able to network and talk to other people and help them be able to start a business or network and get help and be able to help others. And that's what it's about, is giving back. And we can all give back in some shape, form, or fashion. I maybe can't be there physically to touch the city all the time, but I can find other ways to give people a platform to get their voice, their movement heard. So thank you for coming on. And you have so many things going on in a platform yourself, which is dope. And so having that and seeing the work that you do, I commend. I thank you, and it's amazing to see like the growth of just seeing you from my little sister's friend and everything like that to just the amazing, strong mother and woman and black woman and just leader that you have become. Like
That's right.
that's so real. Like you truly inspire. I'm sure you inspire a lot of people, and I'm sure you probably hear it a lot. But you know, as a, forget it, as a man first and foremost. I'm a man before. As people may see color, but as a man first and foremost, I commend you. As a black man, I honor you,
Oh,
and you know, and
don't
as
make
a
me
fellow
cry on the podcast. I'm gonna tell you. I need you to.
and as a fellow tiger, you know, I'm roaring for you, rooting for you, because I just know you got. There's still more to come. Like I said,
Yeah.
you and Fly and and his brother and so many other people are doing so much, and we want to shine light on it. And if
Mm,
there's other movement, even if you didn't play in Vonnie Rogers, but or cheer in there or coach or whatever, but you're a part of the community and you have
mm,
things going on that's helping the community or helping youth and helping kids. We want you to come on. Be a part of the conversation, but still share what you have going on. Let's spread the word. Let's help each other. If you have a
Yeah.
restaurant and whatnot, like we're not going to charge your arm and leg to sponsor and shout out your business and different things like that. And what we, it's not even about getting the money. It's about spreading it's about spreading the knowledge. It's about helping. It's about sharing. It's about building. And that's what
mm,
we're
Yeah.
trying to do with this.
The knowledge
That's
that we all get from each other, man, like you said, is what's gonna make us stronger.
yes,
And educating us, because like I said, it's different methods to get through to kids.
yes,
Um, and to be honest with you, when we look at the bigger picture, like I said, we're considered out of touch within the community because we're not residents of the community no more. So some of these kids are not going to give us the same respect of a familiar face like yourself that they see in the community because they're like, hey, who are you guys? Who you to tell me something? You know what I'm saying? And we like, you don't know who it's not about that. Like right now, the effective matter is we got somebody like yourself. We got people like my brother. We got people that's at home that have different stuff outside of y'all two. Like I said, Antonio Owens. Man, Skeet,
mm,
man, I'm proud of Skeet. Skeet has set himself on a high plateau that you know what I mean, that or a podium that nobody can't really sit there and knock him off of because the brother driven, man, and he keep making moves. And what I'm sitting there saying is though, out of respect for everybody, like even his cousin Kenny,
mm,
going into their barber shop for years, it's just like, man, you go in and out the barbershop, these guys got the barbershops hanging around. It's a lot of businesses that's going on. Brandon Brown, his businesses that he
hmm
has, that he's been participating in. It's a lot of businesses that's going on that I can say truthfully, it's
Gary
good to know
Thornton.
that's yeah.
mhm,
Every like you said, it's people that's within the community that we went to school with. And I can say, hey, that's my classmate. Or I went to school with them. That's a good feeling. But
mhm,
the thing is, you're a graduate of the Ohio State. My brother did college and went and played a little bit here and there, but then again, kept in touch with a lot of the athletes and stuff that
mm,
he actually went to the combines with and everything else. So the thing is, like you said, y'all network a lot of times goes a long way. Even when Reese make his appearances at times and
mhm,
stuff, and bring certain alumni people with him to the community for any type of things. It's a lot of stuff, man, that you guys don't realize that. Well, I'm not going to say you guys don't realize it. You guys are doing it because now you're using your networking of bringing other players or other people in, depending upon what it is, and letting them speak as guests too. Because, everybody always look for the celebrities. A lot of times, people just want to see is there hope or outlet. To see people from where we from be able to talk about, hey, there is an outlet besides the streets. You
mhm,
don't have to be consumed by the city on a negative shit or stuff, I should say.
mhm,
When people see that and they see it coming from us and at the age we at, they get
mhm,
inspired. These kids are getting inspired. These kids have jumped through hoops. I remember, like you said, his coaches stand out that,
mhm,
say certain things to you, man, you'll run through a brick wall for them because you
mhm,
believed in anything they said. You knew they weren't going to steer you wrong. And I mean, I
mhm,
think that's where sometimes the kids in the community, when they get those certain people that they look up to, and you know you got that influence on that kid, and that kid going the wrong way. It's your job, your duty to kind of pull that kid to the wayside and say, "Hey, man, I got you. I don't want to see you doing this, doing that, doing that. You look up to me. Well, I want to see you doing this. This is what you should be doing." And like you said, Doreen, your coach sitting there, the football coach, checking in on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
see
with
y'all.
her grades, like that's salute, man. That's because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times people ain't sitting there looking at that, man. They looking at one key thing. I'm worried
Mm-hmm.
about my players. What my players gonna do? That's about it. They
Mm-hmm.
checking on the cheerleaders as well. That says a lot. You know, that's big, man. So
So, the, what I want to say this as we get ready to bring this episode to an end. Be on the lookout for more content, a deeper dive, and touching on, like I said, we're trying to expand the information sharing. We're trying to expand the access and giving people access who are in the community, who are about change, or who are trying to find ways to make change and trying to network and build. We want to build, and the first thing that has to happen when you're trying to fix a community is, for one, you have to have accountability. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you get accountability and people are being accountable, and you're able to communicate, you have to have communication. And if
Mm-hmm.
you can be able to hold yourself accountable first and foremost, and the other people are holding themselves accountable, and then everybody's able to start to communicate, then we can start this to network so we can build. I'll say this on a small level, I'll say it rings true to a larger level. We lack, especially for our community, especially for Black communities, on a lower level, on a city, state, and federal government level, Black infrastructure. Of
Mm-hmm.
and we have to start taking it upon ourselves to go out and get it, because no one's going to give it to us. And there's so many business owners, and there's so many people, so many coaches, so many instructors, so many counselors that are out there doing the good work and fighting a good fight. But we can do so much more if we start finding ways to come together. Put away the small differences. Let's communicate about the big thing. Let's find different ways. We ain't got to help each other in everything, but if we can use each other for the greater good, for the greater goal, it's going to be Youngstown and a lot of other places. Because down in the valley is going to become bigger than Youngstown at my goal, because there's coaches in Cleveland, there's coaches in Cincinnati, there's
Mm-hmm.
players, there's people who come back to their communities. There's a coach to somebody right now. There's another coach, a coach newbie somewhere else. Like for him, for me, it was Coach Cad Poindexter. For him, for his coaches, and for, like I said, there's a coach newbie and a coach Ivan Thompson. But there's cities all across America, across the state, that have so many of these guys that need the help, need the word of mouth, need the love, need the platform. And that's what we want to give, is that platform. Doreen, I
Yes, sir.
swear I'm working on it. Maybe we gotta work come up with like some type of award or something like that. Rico, we gotta come up with something so we can start these guests we have come on that are doing great things. Because like
no
Doreen,
doubt.
you are a true one. You are, wow, a legend in your own right, and a
Oh,
fierce competitor as a cheerleader, because you put us on the game about things we did not know was going
Yeah.
on.
She's
Who
hey,
knew it was
she's
that
snapping the
serious?
neck and everything. She was getting serious with it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm trying to think. Sad part, I'm in my head the whole episode, trying to remember some of the cheers they used to say and everything, because it was, who knew it was that fierce? Look at the disciples, man. You better watch it. The football play, all that stuff you were talking earlier, Jordan. The football players ain't gonna show up on you. It's gonna be all them old cheerleaders from back in the days for the disciples that's gonna
Yeah.
show up when you talk about we ain't win what? We were
I
sorry,
mean,
huh?
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I
So he
mean,
said that, not me. He said that.
let them show up on the show, man. I'm gonna be like Martin. You can get to stepping, but
Mhm.
That's what Doreen and them was doing. They was
That's what
stepping.
we was doing.
they wasn't
That's what we
stumping
was
no
doing.
yard, man. They wasn't doing nothing, man.
Yes, he
But
was. I still remember the cheer. I feel like I still remember some of the cheers.
oh
You
We
don't
Lord,
gonna
remember
have
the
to get
cheer.
the band
You don't
together.
remember no cheer. You don't remember not
what's
Yes,
one
I
what's
cheer.
that?
do.
When I used to
Say
The
call
one.
out who they used to call out who your number one star was. And that
No,
was
I'm telling you, when we used to come across the field, we started off, we like, I say my sisters, then we would come out, bump, 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 bump. Are you ready now? Bump, 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 bump. Break it down now. Then we would just do the whole thing, come all the way across, and we'd be set. Then we do our cheer. I'm telling you, we was dope. I don't know what's wrong. Why you don't remember? We was dope.
they stuff in the yard.
Oh, oh. I don't know why you don't remember.
They
Listen,
stuff in
we
the
were
yard.
speaking in different languages. We say we did the cheer sitting down. We was dope. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
Bro, listen. I'm in Ohio still. I'm trying to be safe. You down there in Georgia, you safe. You from a distance. Bro, don't have them cheerleaders showing up on me, man, because I'm telling them right now, I'm like Lil Jon. No, I ain't said that. He said that.
I'm just letting you know. I'll be looking forward to seeing. I'm about to make some phone calls. I'm gonna see about the old cheerleaders and
Mm-hmm.
see how good y'all really were. I don't know how many. I'm ready to see
Come
all
on
this
now,
too.
Jamar. You got it. See? You got it. That's what I'm talking about.
So this is my question. Now that you got your baby girl that's about to, that already started dancing, do you think you would become a cheerleader instructor or get involved with cheerleading the older she gets? Would you think you would do that?
And she took an
So,
interest in it, especially.
so listen, if we stay up north and she takes an interest in it, I'm gonna have to take over. I just already know I'm gonna have to be the coach. I'm gonna have to be the dance instructor. I'm gonna have to be the cheer instructor. But if we come towards your way, Georgie, I feel like she might be okay. I could just be a parent in the background. But if the instructor is not properly teaching my baby, I am going to have to step in and say, hey, let me handle this. That's what I'm gonna do, because this is what I do. Okay, that's what I do. But the nature of cheerleading has changed so much. I don't know if y'all have paid attention to it, but before we would cheer, and we would cheer more so to cheer on y'all. We trying to call y'all names, hey Georgie and the orange and black or whatever. We cheering, we making sure that it's about y'all. Now I feel like the cheerleading is just battles. Every cheer is a halftime cheer. The halftime cheer was when we was battling the other cheerleaders. But for the most part, we out here trying to cheer y'all on because we want y'all to win the game. So
Right.
it's different. And the way that we used to cheer, even the voice, like, I don't know, y'all, what's going on with the cheering. So I hope she's not going to be a cheerleader for real. She could be a dancer, but like, did you say a spirit cheer? Like, for instance, back in the day, a spirit cheer would be like, we got the spirit. Yeah, we got the spirit. Yeah, we got the what? Like, we would be
I
happy to
remember that.
see.
I remember that.
Yeah, now you go to the game, they're like, we got the spirit. Like, what is y'all doing? I don't I'm at the game like,
that's what you and your disciple fellow cheerleaders started. Y'all made it
No,
all
we didn't
competitive
start
like
that.
that.
No,
Yeah, y'all
we didn't
did.
sound like that. We did not sound like that. It was a time and a place for a battle cheer. It was a time and a place. I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, we got the word. All the stuff. SP, IT, we got the spirit. But let's hear it. Like, hit them hard and make them fumble. Y'all, we used to really be out there trying to make y'all be great. But now I feel like it's more so battling the other cheerleaders at all times. And I don't know if I'm down with that. I don't know.
Listen, that's why North was sorry in football. All their best players was on the disciples. All their best cheerleaders was on the disciples.
What?
I'm not going to talk about my alma mater. I can't even remember. I feel like they were not good in football, but I can't remember.
Now Norfolk State, you got to think
Huh?
you got to
How
think
about them Bulldogs?
when we hit when you had us by a year, you was in eighth, we was in seventh.
Uh-huh.
That year when we hit junior high school, North was okay, but everybody was okay considering the fact that nobody was not beating. I think what Reese played for Adams
Nah, Reese
or
played for Hillman.
Hillman. Nobody wasn't beating Hillman. So
Mhm.
I mean that was the thing about that. So you already know how that went. But we had Justin
You was
Adams.
dope in track though, Georgie. You was right. We used to win in track.
I try to tell look, no
North
other
used to win in track.
we
We
won
was
city all the
undefeated.
time.
We was undefeated out here in these streets.
Exactly. Exactly. We
Man,
used to
boy,
kick,
man, and neither one of y'all won no fast races. Y'all like won like the distance things. Y'all was
oh
I
well.
always ran a
Hey,
400 and a 4x4. So I
I
wasn't
see
at
what
the
I'm talking
100.
about.
hey,
Yeah, I wasn't the
hey,
100 or the 200.
hey,
But
look. I got trophies for being best in 800 and
See,
in the 1 mile.
see,
And
I
don't let
told
it
you, North
and
had
look,
nothing but marathon runners because y'all used to running for a long time.
hey, like I said,
no,
hey,
we had some fast people. Was
we had
Cooley? We had
Quentin.
Quinn. We had Lloyd.
That's all
Was
y'all had
Yeah.
was Quentin.
No,
Quentin was the fastest dude
Lloyd
y'all
went
had in
to
the whole east side.
what's the name? Cheney or what was it? The north side was it Adams or whatever school was on the south side for junior high. He went
Hayes. Did he go to
Hey,
Hayes?
no Lloyd Hewlett didn't go to what's the name? No, you
I
know
don't know
what?
if
We
he
did
went to
have a
Warren.
Lloyd. We did have a Lloyd, I think, light skinned Lloyd that ran track with us. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
know.
forgot
Listen,
about
I
that.
got a
Yeah.
crush on Lloyd. You're not about to try to act like Lloyd wasn't that north. You're not about to try to act like he wasn't
So
there.
you have Quentin who was the fastest,
mm-hmm.
and then you had Lloyd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hmm And then you had Travis Stanford, who played for the
Yeah.
Disciples. That's my boy still.
Yeah,
That's another person. Yeah.
Was Clay
Yep.
fast? I feel like Clay was fast. I just feel
No,
like he was.
Clay ran the 800 with me.
Oh, did he?
Clay,
Okay.
which Clay?
Clay Sanders.
Yeah, Clay was he wasn't slow, but he was long distance runner. He was
We was better
yeah.
at distance. Look,
Yeah,
we
we
would hold
was
our
because
own.
I was 4x4 in the 400.
We
That's
could hold
what.
our
Mm-hmm.
own, but you got us for the first 40 meters. We might come out the blocks looking good. The rest of that, we didn't smoke if we up to
But
doing a
it
100-meter
takes
dash.
stamina. It takes stamina to be able to run that track twice and
I
still
mean,
win. Still win.
that right there, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like if you compare yourself to Quentin, Reese, Lloyd, Travis, we were slow. Even Jamar was fast. He was our running back. But if we get on a track, I mean, it was like I could catch him for the first 40 meters. After that, if he and put like I would say the first 20, because if you say 40, then you running the same 40 speed they run. No, I was just say the 20. When I come out the blocks, I'm looking cold. I'm fresh. I'm there. I'm neck and neck with you. Like yeah. That other stride when you get to 21, 22, 23, I'm falling back and I'm mad. I'm looking at my legs like they just ain't long enough. They ain't going fast enough.
What are you guys doing?
I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, my mind, I'm telling myself, I'm running fast as I can. Like, hey, I should be up there with him. How fast I'm running in my mind.
Mm, mm,
Mm,
mm.
Out of body experience.
That's what it is. It felt like that every race. That was always my biggest issue with track. And I used to hate it. Coach Jinx would like, him and Coach Harold would be like, no, you got to do this. And we run. Man, listen, I'm telling you right now, like track, I don't care who it was. And I ran against some fast dudes. I can
Yeah.
remember, and this is, we're going to end this because I know it was getting late, but I
You want
remember
to get
junior high.
destroyed.
I was me, D Stred, Joe Love.
Ooh.
I'm missing one more person. And
Junior high?
No, high school. High
Oh,
school. Yeah, when you said D Stred, D
if
Stred
you
was on.
said if you said high school, you had D Stred. Who was our 4x1? Was D Stred, Joe Love, um, who else we had? Quentin, and
It was
was
me.
you
I was
on the four?
anchor. I was anchor.
Wow, I forgot I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I was
And
anchor.
you know what's so crazy? It was a couple of times I remember because D Stred was the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it went, it used to be sometimes it depended upon how Jinx felt, and D Stred hamstrings used to always be tightened up, and that was the
100%.
problem. So coach would be like, "And we're gonna switch the lineup.
Yep.
If you gave it'd be Joe Love or either be first or second." Because I remember the one time we ran, and I think Joe ran like a 10-5 or 10-3 split on his time, and everybody looking like, and he played lineman. This joker running this and he running that in a 100-meter, in a 4x1. Now, like I said, that time frame 10-5, whatever, 10-3 or whatever split, it was just like ridiculous. But I think Joe ran the first leg that time. I think D Stred brought it up, and I think you and Quentin had the middle.
Me and
But
Quentin, because I always ran most of the time I always ran anchor. Maybe once or twice I did third. I hated third leg because I hated the curve.
yeah.
And I hated doing the 4x2. I hated doing that too. But 4x1 was anchor because I got in trouble. I know this city meet, and maybe you remember it or not. We running, and they come around, bow, and they hand it to me, and I'm flying. Well, I knew I had dude beat, so I pulled up, and Jinx and Harold lost their mind because of time. Because I'm really a football player. I'm just running tracks. They making me run it. So in their mind, they're like, "Yo, it's about the time. Forget if you just won. That time matters." And they was cussing me out like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because we killed them cats.
And the big thing be running the track meets at Fitch, because those was the ones when it's like, yo, we about to get ready. And that's when we had that year, we had Squire Cross when he walked on. And I think Squire was clearing 6'3" or 6'4" on
Was
the
it him and
damn.
Smoke was doing the high jump, or the Smoke was doing the long jump?
Smoke might have did the long jump.
All about Smoke.
Yeah, Mike Anderson. Yeah, but nah, I think Squire jumped to 6'3", 6'6". I think Squire at one of the invitational track meets he qualified for state, and he was doing that stuff with tennis shoes on.
Yep. Because me and Squire
was
hardly
crazy.
went to track practice because we played baseball and we did track.
Yep. And that's the crazy part about it, because I remember that, because I was like, man, we had a dope track squad that year. And I think that was my freshman year. I think me and Clay, and that was Clay and me it was me, Clay, and Frank Sanders. Or Frank.
Oh, I remember him too.
Yeah, Frank, yep. And we used to
Pink House.
We used to smoke the 800. It would be Rand had the first 3 bids in the 800 meter dash all the time, or 800 meter run. We used to win that. The 4x8, we always either come in first or second. It was just like when we played the outside network schools that we lost, but in the city we always won the city,
because it would be all those, we could win in sprints, but it'd be all those other events if they would kick our butts in. Excuse my language.
Yeah, well, I mean, because they did distance, they had cross country. We didn't do cross country.
Yeah, we just sit there and look like, we know we not winning because ain't nobody.
Nah, them boys used to run like we give them hell in the 800, but when you come out of that mile and that 4x8, and it was like, man, we
doing it.
Yeah, we was cooking them for a second, man. It was one of those things, but like you said, that was funny, man. That was a good year.
I think Pixley was it Pixley that filled in sometimes on a 4x1? I can't remember if it was Pixley or if it was a Shake.
No.
Who was it? It was somebody filled in sometimes.
It might have been, bro. No, because I don't even remember that.
No, I don't remember Pixley.
No, it was not Pixley.
Was somebody.
Pixley Jets was cool on the field. Pixley didn't have the Jets on the.
I like y'all remember Pixley being that.
I'm looking at. Hey, look. We have to call Coach Jinx, and y'all know you ain't say no thing. Johnny Jones. That's
Johnny Jones.
Oh,
that's who it was.
Yeah,
Johnny Jones was
fast. But
Quentin got all the props, but Johnny was faster than Quentin.
Yeah.
Quentin used to
Johnny
get all the
Jones.
props, but Johnny Jones is faster than Quentin. I
He
remember that.
was fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Johnny Jones was running our 200
But
meters.
his brother was super fast. His brother is the one. Him and when they had Juice, Sam Crenshaw, and his brother was Demetrius. And they went to state. His older
Wow.
brother. So yeah, when they went to state, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
Johnny
Johnny Jones.
Jones.
Yeah,
That
Johnny
was my
Jones used
dude
to
right
be.
there.
Yeah,
And his
Johnny
little
Jones was
feet used
quick.
to always be bleeding. Poor
Hmm
baby.
She said, "Oh,
Yep,
baby,
yep. Johnny Jones.
Johnny
Because
Jones."
his nails was too long. He needed to cut them.
Yeah, he did. Johnny Jones. That was my dude right there. I'm gonna hit him up.
Yeah.
But as we get through to wrap this up, Doreen, if you might, any shout outs, anything you got upcoming or whatever case, you want to go ahead and give those out again before we go. And then Rico, I know you might have a couple you wanted shout outs you want to give, but Doreen, if you want to go first.
Somebody that you guys probably should have on the show. His name is Joseph Napier. He is really all about Youngstown for real. He does a lot of stuff in the city. I think he a junior. I call him Little Joseph, but he don't like that. So we just gonna say Joseph Napier. Um, Jamar, I did actually get my book copywritten. I just did not
Sweet.
publish it yet. So when I publish it, then we can really like
Oh,
broadcast.
we gonna broadcast and dig into it and have you on talk about it.
Yeah, but
We
I
gonna
got
knock
it
it out.
copywritten in May. But it's a lot of other stuff that you got to do. I want to do it right before I publish it. So
Okay.
yeah, but I just wanted you to
Sweet.
know that. But
That's
that's all
sweet.
I.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Well, thank
Congratulations.
you.
Thank you for being on with us. Thank you. Thank you. We
Thanks for
gonna
Yeah.
we gonna
having me.
bring you back. We're gonna bring you back because now we know. Now we know.
And also I got one person we can bring on a podcast. I'm gonna have him on there for as probably on 2 episodes. That's big in the community. I like to keep up with a lot of stuff that they do. It's family, of course, but like I said, Daryl Jones with Youngstown United. That's another family member of mine. But what he's doing in the community, what his group is doing in the community, is wonderful. Like I said, I see they did the gas vouchers for everybody in the city.
Mhm.
It was about $1,200-$1,300 spent on putting gas in people's cars. They have their giveaways for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and they also do their. I seen them do the jazz in the park last year. That was pretty nice. It's a lot of different stuff that they be doing as well, so it'd be good to keep up with that. I'm gonna ask you while we got you on here, Doreen. Do y'all do anything for Martin Luther King? Like, do y'all have like a Martin Luther King parade or anything like that at home in the city, like downtown? Since it is a holiday that's recognizable.
I don't think that they have like a big parade. I feel like everybody has different things that they do, and a lot of things are rooted in the church. So, like I know my church does a panel every Martin Luther King day where they sit down and we talk about what's going on in the Black community. I usually facilitate it, and it's usually a panel full of men, and so I bring the softness when I'm the facilitator.
And
But
you're
there's
you're
a
the
lot.
softness.
Yes, yes, Jamar, I can be soft. Yes,
Okay, my
but
my bad.
I do know that Harambe, now that I'm part of it with my daughter, I do know that they are doing something, but I'm not for sure exactly what it is. So I'll keep you posted on it. But she did make an announcement last week. So,
And
but
I think
usually
that
it's
might be a
all
good.
different things.
I think that might be a good idea. I know, like I said, I am in the South, so you got Martin Luther King, certain holidays like that. But I think like to get back to like especially like national holidays like that that's being honored and or recognized. I think we need to try to like look at like doing something like to give somebody look forward to as a community, like a Martin Luther King parade or something like that, where people
Mhm.
are downtown, is publicized a little bit more, an event that can be started, or even something that's like held at Standby Auditorium for everybody to be able to come to something.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a man that made a lot of changes and moves and he's not the only leader of that done it on his own, but he's the one that's being recognized on that holiday. Everybody gets off of work or get paid for working on it. So why not actually hold a good parade? They do it down here. And I mean, people look forward to it. You know what I mean? It's very recognizable because I mean, who the man he was. So excuse me. I think we need to look into that, like possibly like one time next year or something like that. Look at doing an actual parade or something within the city. The only difference is I can say y'all guys get snow. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Who's going to want to drive around in the snow to be sitting there? And y'all temperatures are a little bit more different. I mean, I can rock basketball shorts right now and walk out the house and I'm all right. You know what I mean? So I do get it. But I do want to sit there and look at possibly some type of parade or something done for the city where we get some floats. It give people the chance to take pride in it. You know what I mean? You have like different groups of organizations that can build floats and everything else and have something downtown that'll bring the city out like we see in the bigger cities. Why go to the bigger cities when we can bring the bigger city life to the small city of Youngstown? You know what I'm saying? It's just all on if we can all behave and keep it organized. And I mean, it'll take some time, but it's actually something that's good. You know what I mean? That we can look forward to. Kids going to parades instead of saying we got to go to all the way to New York. You know what I mean? We could do like a little New Year's drop the ball in Youngstown. You know what I mean? Something similar to that. You know what I mean? But it's still giving our city something to look forward to. Like you said, y'all do a Harambe, you know what I mean? But put it on a
And they
larger
do
scale.
first night here for New Year's. They don't have anything for Martin Luther King, but they do first night here downtown. And they have a lot of people. Harambe does things down there that night, and they bring a lot of people. It's in the Farmore building. If you remember where that's at, they usually do first night, and then it's like the surrounding places you can go. And they give like tickets out and things like that. So if that would be dope if we could do something like that for Martin Luther King Day. But they do that for the first of the year. They call it first night out or something like that.
That's pretty dope. Okay.
We about to wrap it up. Don't forget, we got some more things to be announced beginning of the year. Some things we're working on and putting together. And I hope that
my co-host D Block. Yeah, I'm putting her on the spot. I'm putting her on the spot.
And you gotta put her on the spot so she can't tell you no.
Look, hold on. I already worked on her earlier. So D Block, we co-hosting this Youngstown. What's up?
Jamar, go ahead and wrap it up.
I told her I'm going off of her schedule. But she's a must.
Her schedule. We gonna work on her, bro. We gotta find some incentives or something like that. We gonna work.
Hey, look. I already told her I need her on my team because she's active. She's there. She's who I trust.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, like they say in the Army. You the Avon party. You there?
Yep. Yo,
I
want to thank everybody for watching, checking us out. This is Down in the Valley podcast. I want to thank our guest, D Block, aka Doreen Block, my partner in crime, my co-host, Georgie Revere, aka George Revere, aka also known as Rico. I am Black V, also known as Jamar Harris. This is brought to you by Truth Entertainment Films and AAA Productions. We thank y'all. God bless y'all, and good night.
Adios.
Later.